And YouTube. My channel. My channel.
Assignment 17 is due today, right?
Yeah. Pretty much everything is due tonight.
19? No. Well, I feel like that's extra. I never seen that. Module 11. Let's see. How many modules?
Alright, whenever you're ready, dude, I'll let you take lead on that quiz.
You want me to take it?
Mm-hmm. I'm
Oh, you want
sorry. Yeah,
you
I'm
want
sorry. Mm-hmm.
you wanted me to share the screen?
Yeah. It's actually, you know what, you're right. I posted the YouTube live, so I was like in my head, I was like, oh yeah, you could totally just do that. But it should can you share your screen? Actually, since you're I'm gonna help you out, but I'm gonna ask that you take the quiz. And so I'm gonna ask that you share your screen.
Yeah, no, I got you. Send me an email with the Google link.
You're in the call already.
Um,
Oh, are
I'm
you
in.
talking about in your phone? If you go to
Let
the group meet, then the link for the Google Meets in there too.
me see.
Yeah, just jump into the group meet.
Oh wait, so you're doing a YouTube video too, right?
Mm-hmm. That way, I don't have to, record and then wait 10 minutes and then send it. It's live for anybody who wants to watch it.
And it's the leader, right? Because the professor be
Sure.
is the leader too, right?
Yeah, I can delete it anytime.
All right. Um,
Mhm. Okay, let me see. The quizzes that we're gonna do first is going to be
active what?
module 8.
8? Give me a
Yeah,
sec.
activity 15.
I'm trying to share the screen. Let me see. Oh wait, let me do that. HTTPS.
Man, food tastes freaking great.
Uh,
Food tastes amazing.
you're vegan?
No, food tastes amazing.
Will I ask, are you vegan?
Mm-mm. I'm eating sausage right now. Hey, you did it. Fish.
All right. Let... I hate that shit.
Wow, that ain't even working.
Did I mute it?
Try muting the other one.
Let me stop.
Well, wait.
I ain't even surprised, not gonna lie. I mean, that doesn't even faze me. I've been in so many, like, Discord calls and online. Hey, you did it! And I can still hear you, I believe. Say something, please.
Can you hear me?
I can, perfectly.
Oh, you can?
Yes, I can.
Bet. Um, quiz.
Look at us, so professional now.
Do you want to see what my problem is, though? You want to see my grades?
Sure.
Like, this is the thing.
Scroll. Scroll up all the way to the top. Oh, okay. Please consider turning this assignment in for later.
I feel like I'm gonna turn it in, though. That's what I feel like I should do.
Yes, of course you should.
No.
Anything's better than a 0.
But like, it's bothering me because I did the math, and I'm like, okay. I'm worried completely.
I mean, as you should. Then let that drive you to get the work done. I mean, no matter what, like you should be trying to, you should be focusing on doing your best. That's all you can do, right?
Which one? What quiz?
We're gonna start with 15. Yeah, 15. What'd you do?
What?
You stopped sharing your screen.
Oh, that's why. Oops, sorry.
Um, Let me get to my Google Drive real quick. Drive. That's the one. Let me see. I believe I found it in here. Ethnographic field research. And back to this. Ethnographic cultural field research on shamanism. Okay, so that one's it. Second one, ethnological work. Let me see. Work to develop an understanding of shamanism as a ritual practice. That's not necessarily comparison, no. Scientific dispersal of research findings to scholars and the public. Publication field. Okay, so number 1, number 2, number 3. Ethnological comparison of shamanism across cultures. I actually want to say it's all 4 of them.
Why?
Let me see. Here's from my writing here. Ethnological work to develop an understanding of shamanism as a ritual practice, comparing the data collected with cultures of other societies. This is done to measure the accuracy of the beliefs and practices. So, comparison is something that you do. Yeah, it's all 4.
So it's all of them.
Yup. Scroll down. Number 2. Michael Harner eventually disavowed anthropology and became a full-fledged shaman. False. According to the research of Dangler, among the Inuit, an individual many span gender boundaries. Oh my god, what the fuck do you read that? Among the Inuit, an individual may span gender boundaries for all of the following reasons, except Um, it's not A. There was an uneven sex ratio within the family. It's B. They received their name at birth from someone of opposite sex. The family does not want to assign any gender at all to their children. Yeah, it's B. There's too many boys. Is that? According to the research of Dangler, the Inuit igloo is constructed to be a cosmic metaphor showing relationships between people, nature, and deities. I'm gonna go with true for that one. According to the research of Balzer, gender transformation among the Sak of Siberia is considered deviant. Yeah, it's deviant. Balzer notes that Bogoris research on the Chukchi shamans reveals that there are various degrees and stages of gender transformation, including. Man, I would have loved to have taken the quiz before I took the test. Because this was the question that I was having trouble with. An individual begins dressing as members of the opposite sex, man dressing as a woman. An individual begins changing their hairstyle to look like the opposite sex, man begins braiding and arranging their long hair. An individual begins competing sexually for members of the same birth. All of them. Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay. Can you scroll up back to 7? Neo-shamanism is best defined as a new age form of shamanism that is practiced only in Western. No, it's a C. Can you go back to number 6 as well? That okay. You can go back to 8 now. MacLellan's description of shamanism in Britain today highlights almost every characteristic of neo-shamanism, including skepticism. On the list of trance-inducers, though, one of them does not fit from the traditional indigenous shamanic perspective, which doesn't fit. I want to say it's stillness, but I don't know.
The other girl picked stillness.
Yeah. Isabella?
Yeah.
Hi, Isabella, if you're watching this. In Butler's article on the protests against British road building in the Claremont neighborhood, she mentions an artifact. It's a leaf. It's a leaf. Is it increasingly... wait! Here's examples of several... Cool. Do you feel comfortable with these? All right, let's just go for it. Wait, what is this? Scrolls. What? Holy shit! This tells you the correct answers. Ha! Look at that. It was on an even ratio. That's interesting. Interesting. So what'd you get? 80? Awesome, man. Stay right there. I wanna let me get this test. Let me get this test now. That's wild. That's crazy. Okay. Okay, activity 15 quiz. Start quiz. And okay, so number 1 was all of them. Cool. This is false. Beautiful. Number 3 is Can you scroll down, please?
Can you help me with 1, 2, and 3, please? And yeah, that'd be great. With assignments, because I'm not trying to fail. So
Dude, just literally just not copy paste, but take a look at my answers.
all right.
If you need help like this deciphering what I say, because I will admit sometimes I go a little crazy with my words. Can you scroll down to number 3, please? Okay. Family does not want to assign gender to all their children. Really? Wait, what? Okay. 4 is true. 5 is sacred. 6 is all. 7 is intentionally designed. Okay. 8 is stillness. That's interesting because I really thought like some Chinese, some more Oriental stuff would have had stillness. A single leaf, and 10 is archaeological sites. Bet. Okay, let's go to do the next quiz. This one should be what? Module 10, activity 18 quiz.
What does she want us to do with activity 7?
What? What do you mean activity 7? Activity 17?
Yeah. Sorry.
Mm. I guess we'll talk about that after we get this quiz done. Okay, Churchill refers to what we would call New Age shamanism and shamans as hucksterism.
No, it's hucksters. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. And then
The representative body of traditional indigenous leadership in North America is called. We said Circle of Elders yesterday. Why are some indigenous people offended by plastic medicine men? Mark all answers that apply. A. C. That's it. Neo shaman is deeply embedded in what cultural matrix? It's going to be Western. Nah, it's Western. Johnson in chapter 20 argues that all forms of neo shamanism should be opposed as they are fraud and ineffective systems of healing. False. What? Okay. Let's see. Johnson in chapter 20 critiques anthropologist Michael Harner's foundation for shamanic studies for setting itself up as a judge and jury on who and what constitutes shamanism. Oh, yeah, that's true. How would an anthropologist respond to a critique? Respond in a substantive paragraph. Okay. Okay. Um. Okay. Give me like 2 seconds, and I think I have an idea for what we could use for this. Syllabus. I'm gonna go to the syllabus real quick. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Reawakening of shamanism in the West. Okay, so page 2. I think it's page 2.
If this was a sociology class, let's believe that I'll be the one telling y'all the answers. This shit's too hard.
Followers. Okay. Eclectic pioneers, conservative. Okay, so I'm just kind of copying and pasting something really quick, just so that we could have something that we could start off with. Paste, and I sent it into the message. Oh,
Where's the message? Oh, you sent it on the.
group me, no, Google Meets.
Is it infinite? I'm dead.
That's cool. Bottom right. Bottom right corner. You see the messages box with the blue circle? Yes. Okay.
That's the explanation in the book.
It's one of the links that she told us to read. Core shamanism. So when okay, so with this idea, how the guy Churchill critiques Harner by saying that he pretty much puts the foundation as the head of who gets to be considered a valid shaman, a shamanistic group. As an anthropologist, you would probably say that core shaman, you would explain like what core shamanism focuses on, right? So you would say that core shamanism is focusing on the commonalities, like the most basic tenets of shamanism throughout. So kind of go ahead and say like respond to this criticism as a student of anthropology or related discipline. How would an anthropologist respond to this critique? And so you want to go ahead and set up the fact that that he's not that Harner isn't trying to put the foundation as like the judge and arbiter of who gets to be a valid shaman or not, but he's just pretty much saying like who's important in the practice of core shamanism. So he's let me see. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. And it's um don't say an anthropologist would respond. See, you would use like the word I, or you would just say, or you wouldn't even talk about a person. You would just say shamanism, or Harner. Yeah. So shamanism is the basic is the umbrella term for neo shamanism, core shamanism, and traditional shamanism. Okay. Um, respond to this criticism as a student of anthropology? Or relate this? How would an anthropologist respond to this critique? Okay, and you could say that Harner doesn't interest himself or what is it? Assign himself. Mm-hmm. With deciding who is quote unquote real shamanism. He very much focuses on the core shamanistic principles. For example,
Focuses on what?
on core principles, on principles that found in most to all shamans.
Which is found in what?
Um, get rid of the word witch and just
You
just
mean
say
you mean you, people are like witch? I'm like, wait, are you talking about MAGA? Are you talking about
no. I'm
no?
talking. I'm talking about the third to last word that you used, which found in. Get
Which
rid of
is
the
found? Which is
yeah.
found?
No, get rid of the which is. Unless you
Oh, because I have the badge. I'm sorry. Found in what?
right. Found in most to all cultures of of shamanism.
In the true culture.
Found in most to
Oh,
all.
to
Cool.
simplify it.
Found in most cultures. And then say something about, for example, because anthropologists love saying, for example, i.e., uh, um, represented by, representative of, for example. Whereas um, sweat lodges may be common in North Siberian cultures.
Wait, say it again because you need to type that out. So, for example,
For example, whereas
huh?
sweat
Sweat.
lodges
Huh?
may be important in ritual for
Mm-hmm.
Northern Siberian shamans. Harner, a comma, so like a shamans and then comma Harner,
Where Siberia. What else? I'm sorry.
comma Harner acknowledges that this is a cultural practice and does not and practice and get rid of the does not, and core shamanism does not hinge or does not rely, does not depend
Oh yeah,
on,
never mind. And core shamanism does not.
does not need this particular practice.
Does not need what this particular practice.
Yup. Bam, you're done. Next question.
All right. Shit.
Oh, and please copy and paste that. Like, if you can like copy paste that to the group me, yeah, fuck it, just do the group me or something. Boo 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 boo.
What does she want us to do for activity number 14? I'm confused, but let's go down.
What? I sure. Give me a sec. Okay. Cool. 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 And so now we're doing the next question.
Mm,
Cultural appropriation is a quote unquote hot topic with good reason, as science and the West begin coming to awareness and grips with colonial and post-colonial truth. Let's acknowledge this. Now, I want you to consider cultural appropriation in a wide sense. How do you think we should consider shamanism in this context? Is neo-shamanism cultural appropriation in any, all, some ways? Why? This is a tough question. Take a stand and defend it in one or two substantive paragraphs. I want to let you have this one. I'll chime in at 5 minutes
mhm.
left to go, but I want to give you 10 minutes to come up with your own answers.
Okay, help me out.
If we think about it, as a society, we may realize the inappropriateness committed in this unconscious act of cultural relativism. Of course, anthropologists put an S at the end of that word, please. It just bothered me. Put an S at the end of anthropologist.
Trust and believe. I be
Okay.
doing 5-page essays, single space. Trust and believe that.
No, I believe it. I believe I'm just. It's like I know. Like usually when we write essays, we have like a month to write them, and so we
Okay,
have a
now
lot more time.
this is what I need help with. For example,
That involve themselves in the context of cultural understanding. However, it becomes notable that when the use of practices utilized, even though such rituals are pertaining to the difference we constantly see in the outside world.
for example, then I, like this, you already know what I'm saying. Basically, like you see another person practicing shamanism in the external perspective, when really they're not used to that shamanism. That's why anthropologists are like, oh wait, that's cultural appropriation. Like you're doing shamanism, even though shamanism was never in the Western Hemisphere. Well, even though it was existing in the Western Hemisphere, there was a thing called colonism that halted such movements. So, people don't accept the alteration within the consciousness that, shamanism brings forth. So that's why I created that sort of
Hmm.
beginning. So I go ahead and for example,
Okay. What? Got you. It became notable when the use of practice, even though such rituals pertain to the difference
so
because
do you know a group that anthropologists have mistakenly used as cultural appropriation? What you read?
um I want to say that we want to keep the conversation to what's in the class. And so we would have to think about groups that are within this class that we've
Yeah,
talked
no, of
about.
course. I'm saying that's why I stopped. I was like, hey,
Right.
help.
Groups would
So
involve themselves in the culture. Okay. The context of culture to understand it. However, it becomes notable when the use of practice is utilized, even though such rituals are pertaining to the difference we constantly see in the outside world. I guess I'm just not fully following this last sentence. It
okay, it
becomes
becomes. Let me fix it then. Thank you. So, however, it becomes notable when the use of practice is utilized by.
okay. Got you. Okay. Um.
Yeah, my professor usually tells me I be simplifying too much. I'm like, thank you. So I'll just show and change it. So yeah,
Okay.
it becomes. I'm sorry. It becomes more notable, noticeable,
Oh, noticeable. Great. I think that,
noticeable when the use of practice is use of shamanists. Shamanistic practice is utilized by
hmm.
such as culture anthropologists in the outside world. There you go.
Okay. I see. Um, there's three main groups that we've discussed in terms of, for example, neo shamanism. Those three groups are um paganism, deism, and
Paganism.
yes, paganism.
So neo shamanism. What else? Paganism.
Neo shamanism incorporates paganism, deism, and what else? There's another one here.
Paganism.
Uh,
What else? What?
there's the three is like paganism, deism, and there's another one that I just can't remember right now. But as we've seen by a lot of these by a lot of the anthropologists like that we've been reading, the idea of paganism and deism and whatnot is that they are hodgepodges of of they are hodgepodges different of different beliefs as it is. So it's like Let me go back to that. Utilized by foreigners such as the culture. So pretty much your stance, I think your stance is that neo shamanism is cultural appropriation, right?
Hmm. Oh wait,
So is that your
wait, cultural. And then what? And then
from? I personally do not believe that neo shamanism is cultural appropriation.
but no,
However,
let me write that so I can get at least
yeah,
that's my perspective.
yeah,
So, because you write what you write, that's better because you have that thought. So when
right.
you do your quiz, you write down
Exactly. That's the
your
reason
perspective.
why I said that you should write it yourself first.
Yeah. So for example, I already get that. So neo shamanism is a culturally appropriation.
Right.
Is a lot. I'm sorry. It's a lot. I'm sorry. It's yeah. Equals. This incorporates paganism, deism, which hot pot. What is it? Hot pot. What? How do you say that? Hot what?
HODGE hodgepodges. HODPO. Sorry. HODPO. DG. So it's gonna be hod and then podge. HODPOD.
HODEOE.
POD.
PO.
DGES.
Like that.
Get rid of the E between D and G. Yeah. And let it correct however it does. It
Uh
doesn't
huh.
matter. This one
What else?
incorporates paganism and deism, which instead of saying are hodpodges, maybe consider saying which hodpodge. Okay, get rid of the es. Okay, get rid of, okay, and get rid of the of. We don't need the of. Back up two more times. Get rid of that e. Oh, actually, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Maybe it is an e. I'm sorry. Which hodpodge?
Wait. Hold up.
I'm sorry. Yeah, like I don't know how to spell that word. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
Oh.
You mean that's actually a new word for me? I never heard that in English. Okay. You
Yeah, I'm
mean
sorry. Yeah, this incorporates paganism and
which mixes,
deism,
I guess.
which
So which hot
hodgepodge.
pocket?
Okay, perfect. Which hodgepodge is different aspects of aspects of pre-existing belief systems. Okay. And then you can go ahead and say that without pre-existing belief systems, without so without deep understanding, deep understanding,
Where beliefs and profound understanding. What else?
without profound understand profound. I'd rather just go with deep or something, but we can go with profound. Without previous beliefs. It incorporates paganism and deism, which hodgepodges different aspects of pre-existing beliefs. At the end of that sentence, beliefs, say together. I promise you're gonna need that. We're gonna need that word.
Huh?
Different aspects of pre-existing beliefs together. Do you see what that is? Pre-existing beliefs together. Use the word together. Okay, and then say without okay, without previous understanding or without profound understanding. I'll let you choose whichever one. Without profound understanding, without previous understanding of the original culture, they risk chance of imbalances in their practices. And then you can say um, this. We have 50. Okay, you can either leave it there. Or you say this is
Okay, so let's read it. If we think about it as a society, we realize the inappropriateness committed in this unconscious act of cultural relativism. Of course, anthropologists would involve themselves in the concept of culture to understand it. However, it becomes more noticeable when the use of shamanistic practice is utilized by foreigners, such as the cultural anthropologists in their out in such as the such as uh, cultural anthropologists in the outside world. For example, neo shamanism equals cultural appropriation. This incorporates paganism and deism, which patches different aspects of pre-existing beliefs together. Without previous and profound understanding, the culture to culture a chance of imbalances and flaws within practices.
copy
Period.
paste
Okay.
that. Copy and paste that. Copy that because you're gonna need that for activity 17. Okay, and that's pretty solid.
I would need that for 17.
Yeah, you're gonna need that for activity 17.
Okay, so let's do activity 17. Let me go. Let's do it. Who's in my group? Yeah, we're in the same group. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
specifically why I'm like, bro, you should totally say that. What? I'm upset.
wait, to be announced, to be announced. Why did you say that?
What? Oh, it's because you never even gave a an original um you never even gave an original like post into the discussion.
All right, let's do it. And then I want to go to 16, and then that's it. So I can get to do activity 14 and 15 by myself. So, or 13 and 14 by myself. So that's not that hard.
Okay, so when you go into activity 17, what you just posted in your quiz, maybe consider posting that into as a comment or as a post in our thing in our discussion. Like not necessarily as a yeah, do you have
Oh,
it?
trust. Oh, you want me to like, wait. Don't
You
hang up. Let
have
me
to
piss. Uh, don't hang up. Let me piss and let me grind real quick. What does she want us to do with activity 7?
What? What do you mean activity 7? Activity 17?
Yeah. Sorry.
Mm. I guess we'll talk about that after we get this quiz done. Okay, Churchill refers to what we would call New Age shamanism and shamans as hucksterism.
No, it's hucksters. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. And then
The representative body of traditional indigenous leadership in North America is called, we said, Circle of Elders yesterday. Why are some indigenous people offended by plastic medicine men? Mark all answers that apply. A. C. That's it. Nearsham is deeply embedded in what cultural matrix? It's going to be Western. Nah, it's Western. Johnson in chapter 20 argues that all forms of nearsham should be opposed as they are fraud and ineffective systems of healing. False. What? Okay. Let's see. Johnson in chapter 20 critiques anthropologist Michael Harner's foundation for shamanic studies.
You good, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good.
Sorry, give me a second. Just that doing something real quick.
Can you post the response to Can you post the response to the quiz, the first short response question?
All right. Sorry about that.
Either you can post it onto the main.
Yeah, you want me to post it on the group me?
Yeah. Peekaboo.
Yeah, that shit's annoying.
Wait,
Wait, before I even do that, because for real, let me get at least, because you think my mind is like, damn, okay, so I have to do activity 13, 14, and then 16, and then 17. That's what I have to do. So let me do 17 and let me post it in the discussion. I'm not being mean. I'm just like, this is real quick, because since I already wrote something down, I can easily paraphrase it. So help me out now. So let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and do this.
I'm watching.
Because y'all boys finna get a C. I'm not playing.
I need a fucking beer, bro. I need a beer.
Huh?
I need a shot of whiskey. Give me frickin' alcohol.
What people don't understand is that we're the type of people that smoke and drink when we do homework, because that's the only energy I have. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
my grades are straight up a 3.0. That's what I'm saying. If I gotta
right.
get 2 F's, it's gonna go down to 2.5. I don't have time for that. So like, no.
I mean, like, I'm sure that you can like totally like vibe with this, but I need a sex break every once in a while. Like, I'm a little dry.
How did you get the RA job? If you want to recommend me, that'd be great. Because I'm trying to get a job in school, and I heard y'all be like lit, so I'm chilling.
Let me tell you this, man. I don't think it's necessarily worth it like that. It's if you have to enjoy planning events.
That's not a problem.
Right.
I'm good at that because I did volunteering in my country a lot. So
okay, yeah. Or if you're a social person and you like being like a part of your community, because you'll be staying up until 4 a.m. working on a poster, every month, at least once a month, and it's not a bad thing. Like those are pretty good nights. But it's like if you're not too comfortable or sure with the idea of giving up your sleep and stuff along those lines, watch out for that job. Or don't look for that job. But
No,
if
of course not.
yeah, but if you don't mind it, then apply for it. Although I tried to apply for it recently, and they said that they're not looking for any RAs at the moment.
Mm.
Yeah, so this semester though, if you pay attention to like flyers and posters that are around campus, eventually somebody will be posting flyers about come to these RA meetings. Do you want to be an RA? Come to these meetings and because they're required. Those meetings are required for you to become an
Is that I
RA.
don't live on campus. I live off campus. I have a house. So
Yeah, so you just to tell your friends to keep you up to date with if they find any RA flyers.
are y'all strict with the alcohol and weed?
Um, oops. The idea is that like you don't flaunt it.
Huh?
The idea is that you don't flaunt it. If you're you don't want your room to smell like weed. So like I would not recommend smoking in your room.
Oh no. I did that in my freshman year. It was chill though, man. Like, we don't. Of course, people will be like, people will be having like sessions. I'm like, why the fuck are you having a session in a fucking dorm? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a session like I mean, when I'm writing a fucking essay, of course I'm having my own fucking session. Right now I'm lighting up. Yeah, but it's also like you gotta be careful about like your residents because you want to make sure that your residents aren't narcs.
What do you
um,
mean?
some residents, come from good Christian high schools, which is fine. Like I love Christian high schools. Private Christian high schools. But if they're not down for that, then if they find out that you smoke weed, then you might get in trouble. So one, you don't want to be bragging to your residents that you smoke weed.
That's
Um,
what I'm saying. Like, I keep my shit to myself.
yeah,
So,
it's a good job though. I think you seem like a pretty outgoing person. You might enjoy it.
um,
I enjoy
you
it.
don't know me though like that. Though. I'm gonna be straight up with you.
Are
I
are
do.
you like saying that you're not an upfront like outgoing person?
I'm like this. Hi, welcome to AT&T. My name is Leandro. I'll be helping you today. How can I help you? Oh, perfect. Vas a actualizar tu celular, señora. Te ayudo con eso rapidito. Mira, comenzamos con el proceso con esta pregunta que siempre comienzo con todos los clientes que vienen acá a la tienda, señora. Mira, ¿tú eres parte con nosotros? ¿Tú tienes servicio con nosotros? ¿Has tenido AT&T antes y pueda que tú tengas a poco de, tú sabes, deudas con nosotros? Ok, perfecto, tranquilo, señora, te apoya con eso rapidito. Que si habla español, no comience con eso, porque si hablo español y toda la persona que me dice que tú como que hablo español, si se ha mezclado, claro que no tengo la otra pregunta que dijiste a ti, pero tranquilo, señora, you know what I mean? So, like,
I could go to sleep with that shit. You should start an ASMR channel. Don't go silent on me now.
that's like out of nowhere, but okay.
Okay.
There is a limit to the actions we commit individually.
People can be given compliments.
I'm sure with it. I just have been having like a really bad experience, like with people, not the university, just with people. So I'm
Mhm.
like chilling with people right now. So Where type theory. What else? I'm sorry. Of course,
Shama,
we as humans
a term for shamanism
often.
and traditional shamanism. With colonial and post-colonial truth. Let's acknowledge this. Now, I want you to consider. I don't want to fucking do anything anymore. Just let me not. Is that a valid option? Los mi amiguitos. Oh man, I'm just so tired, dude. I want to go to sleep, and I can't because I have things to do. And because I can't do what I want to do, I just want to cry.
I don't want to go to sleep. I want to play games, but unfortunately, I can't. So
Doesn't that just make you want to cry too?
even if the intention was unconscious or not, the movement we physically considered event.
Oh. You know,
Yes.
for activity 16, whereas like you have to watch the interview between the two ladies, which is cringe. The beginning of the video made me cringe. The
But like, I don't have enough time, so I ask you. Like, if you want money, I don't mind giving you money. But I really need help because I don't know how I'm gonna end up in this class. Because this class is just too hard. It's not interesting. It's too hard for no reason. So even the intention of just we should consider use of culture. Or
$20. I'll do whatever you want me to do. You can cash at me, Venmo. I don't give a fuck.
let me get that school refund real quick. Even with okay, let's go to see. Do you see my presentation? Okay, I like this. There's a limit. I'm paraphrasing what I said in the quiz because I'm not gonna copy and paste from the quiz. So I'm like saying there is a limit to the actions we commit individually. Of course, wait, let me do this. Of course, we as humans we often
That's a good word.
galvanize the mindsets with comfortability, so we mistakenly commit practices that break the ethical code. Even if the intention was conscious or not, the moment we physically consider the act of culture appropriating is defined as the use of culture for beneficial or non-beneficial purposes. Oops. Thus, you have an example?
Wait, that first sentence, there's a limit to the actions we commit individually. That's a really general statement. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't.
that's why I usually do that with my essays. I always get it. I always get good critiques from it. But like I always do, like I'm not doing an essay, but I'm just starting. So I'm like making a point. So people are like, "Oh,
Okay,
yeah."
I'm ready to hear you out. I'm ready. Go ahead and finish. Yeah, go ahead and finish. I'll just
So
vibe with it.
thoughts. What else do I say?
Well, it's just like the when you say there's a limit to actions we commit individually. Are you saying like in all things, like when I'm by
Yeah,
myself?
I guess we can because this is talking about culture appropriating. Like, okay, so we go ahead and pray to Buddha, and people see us doing them. Like, they're like, "Isn't that a Chinese thing? Isn't that a Japanese thing? Isn't that an Indian thing?"
Yeah, like
Even
this.
though that
That's
sounds ethnocentric, if we flip the side, that's culture appropriating. So there's like that this balance between being
it.
ethnocentric and cultural. So I can also state that the extremes are clear. Ethocentrism and um, what else? What is the other one? Ethocentrism.
What does galvanize mean?
Circulate, stir.
Okay. Milk is white. Deviances. Ethnocentrism and cultural appropriation are the complete opposites of deviances.
Okay, so let's connect this.
Hmm. Interesting.
It is true, kind of. Actually, it is physically true because anthropocentrism and cultural appropriation, they're actually the complete opposite if we think about it. When it comes to like, portraying some sort of malevolent like description, I'm sorry, malevolent representation of some sort of way, even if it's not negative or even if it's not
Mhm.
positive, doesn't matter. They're really not mutually exclusive. There has some connection to it because one is about like the exclusion of cultures, and the other one is the complete involvement in these
Well,
cultures.
the complete involvement is not true. Which it's like if you want to stay with that, like I'll just disagree with you
Wait,
during
wait,
the
wait, wait. Say that. Although it's
like whatever you like,
it's
you can say whatever you want. I'll just like I'll make a comment or something on it during the
Yeah, I know.
discussion.
But please
If
tell me
you
so I can write it. Although this perspective of generalizing,
right, it's
wait,
just like a
generalizing,
culture. Keep in
um,
mind that cultural appropriation is not the complete um is not the complete like integration, but you're picking and choosing different
oh,
aspects. Uh,
oh,
spec-
oh,
Specifically, you're cherry picking the more attractive features of the culture that you like. So technically, I wouldn't be surprised. You could still be ethnocentric and yet incorporate some aspects of the culture that you are um, you know hating on, marginalizing,
uh,
disagreeing
final
with.
integration. Although this perspective of generalizing the final integration of cultures is, uh, it.
Uh, Share what most stood out to you. It may have been something personal for reasons shamanism is growing in popularity in the U.S.
What did you say? So I just made your. So I'm contradicting. So like I have like a because she wants us to discuss basically. So
Hmm.
that's why I'm writing down that shit. So I'm like, although this perspective of generalizing the final integration of cultures to a to but although this perspective generalizing the final integration of cultures is to
Ed, I have 2 hours left. Fuck! I don't want to do anything.
too simplistic to confirm the reality of culture appropriation is that so what do I say? Although this perspective of generalizing the final integration of I like this one actually. Okay,
Give me 5 minutes. I'll be back.
the cultural appropriation and the integration of cultures. Although this perspective of finalizing cultural appropriation as the integration of cultures is too simplistic to confirm, the reality of culture appropriation is that How does that sound? Yo, hello.
Okay, come on. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm just crying internally.
Is this Jared? It's Leandro, your neighbor. When are you coming back so I can call? Because I'm getting paid 20 tomorrow from fam. So I was like, let me grab another gram, so I'll pay Jared 20 tomorrow. So that was my mind. So is that cool with you? All right, you still at work? Yeah, just like gram and I'll pay tomorrow. So I'll see you. Hello.
Hello.
You did not hear that.
I don't think I did. Either
Did she want us to respond once in activity 17?
at least once.
I said the extremes are clear. Ethnocentrism and cultural appropriation are complete opposites of deviance. When it
What does
comes,
that even mean, though?
let's do that. Deviances means
Okay, now
the
I see what you're saying now.
you know what deviances are, right?
Yeah,
Like they're just against
the norm.
the law of nature, everything that's like opposed to what is usually known in society. Everything
Yeah,
is society. People
it's
don't realize that. That's what we learn, like
the
in
norm.
sociology, psychology. Everything is society.
Yeah,
So
deviance is just what's different from the norm.
yeah, so I'm basically saying that it could, because when it comes to social deviances, one term applies the total exclusion of international cultures, and the other is the complete integration of diverse cultures. Although this perspective of finalizing culture appropriation as the integration of cultures is too simplistic to confirm, the reality of culture appropriation is that its excuse. Um, of rapid understanding will cause a distortion in the practices and rituals that make up such cultures. Period. So,
Period. Hmm. What is a media? Uh, a person in the media who like talks about like the hottest fad influencer. America sits in a culture of media influencers. Culture. Okay.
will result in division. How does that sound?
Let me see. Can I read it out loud or you
Go
want me to?
ahead, like this one.
Okay. The extremes are clear. Ethnocentrism and cultural appropriation are the complete opposites when it comes to social deviances. One term implies a total exclusion of international cultures, and the other is the complete integration of diverse cultures. Although this perspective of finalizing cultural appropriation as the integration of cultures is too simplistic to confirm, the reality of cultural appropriation is that its excuse of rapid understanding will cause a distortion in the practices and rituals that make up such cultures. Without previous knowledge, the act of representing a culture through shamanism Without previous knowledge, the act of representing a culture through shamanism will result in criticism and inappropriateness. Okay. Representing a culture through shamanism will result in criticism and inappropriateness. There's a limit to the actions we commit individually. Of course, as humans, we often galvanize the mindsets, with comfortability. So we mistakenly commit practices that break the ethical code, even if the intention was conscious or not. The moment we psychically is that the word you're going for? Psychically.
Great, give me a second. And the traditions that
The moment we psychically.
it is. Okay. There is a limit to the actions we commit individually. Of course, as humans, we often galvanize the mindsets with comfortability, so we mistakenly commit practices that break the ethical code, even if the intention was conscious or not. The moment we physically consider the act of cultural appropriating is defined as the use of culture for beneficial or non-beneficial purposes. Thus, the utilization of foreign acts are a risk are risking these cultures. of becoming globally used without consent, and the traditions that are formulated upon dances and dresses. Are not taken serious significantly. Of becoming full consent. The traditions are formulated upon dances, dresses, and music are not taken significantly. Risks are generated in this misuse of articulations because cultural appropriation is an extreme due to its growth and echoes. Yes, these extremes are clear. Ethnocentrism and are complete opposites when it comes to social deviances. One term implies the social total exclusion of international cultures, and the other completely integrates the is the complete integration of culture. Although this perspective is finalizing cultural integration is too simplistic to infer, the reality of cultural appropriation is its use of misrepresentation that its use of misrepresentation will cause distortion in the original. Okay, so read this and let me post it in activity 17.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna read it out loud. I got you.
Mhm.
There's a limit to the actions we commit individually. Of course, as humans, we often galvanize the mindsets with this. That sounds like such a Marxist. That sounds like I'm reading straight out of Marxism. We often
I
galvanize
already
the
learned that.
mindsets with comfortability, so we mistakenly commit practices that break the ethical code. Even if the intention was conscious or not, the moment we psychically consider the act of culturally.
Physically. Oh, I actually. Oh,
No, I don't like
psychically.
it. I don't like it.
Physically, it's physically. So
Okay, actually, don't even put anything. Just leave it as consider. The moment we consider, yeah.
the act of cultural appropriating is defined.
Now, you're kind of losing me when you use the word. Okay, I'm
It's
glad.
immediately defined as the use of culture for beneficial and non-beneficial purposes.
The moment we
Thus, the
consider.
utilization. Yeah.
Wait, it's my turn to read it. Even if the intention was conscious or not, the moment we consider the act of culturally appropriating is immediately defined as the use of culture for beneficial or non-beneficial purposes. So you're pretty much saying that like milk can be white or it can be brown or like it could be you're like it, it's strange the way that you're saying that you're kind of just giving you're just saying that like cultural appropriation can be both this and that.
So I should just be like for individual purposes.
Okay. I think that that'll be a I think that that'll be nice.
Yeah. Thus, yeah.
Okay. Even the intention was conscious or not, the moment we consider the act of culturally appropriating is immediately defined as the use of culture for individual purposes. Hmm. I feel like you should probably look up the definition for cultural appropriation and just paste that onto here instead of saying defined as and then your own personal opinion of what it means. Okay. Okay.
I like
So
this. I like this word actually. There you go.
okay, let's see. Even if the intention was conscious or not, the moment we consider the act of culturally appropriating is it is immediately defined. The moment we consider as we should consider even if the intention was conscious or not, we should consider cultural appropriation as defined. I'm trying. Like, something about that sentence doesn't like
Okay, let
fit.
me look. Even if the intention was conscious or not, the moment we consider the act of culturally appropriate. Okay, yeah, I see what you're talking
You
about.
see what I'm
The
saying? Like
moment
I'm
we
not crazy here.
consider
I swear. I promise.
the moment we consider culturally appropriating is immediately defined as the use or adoption of identity for individuality. Thus, the utilization of foreign acts is risking these cultures of becoming globally used without consent. And
Perfect.
the traditions that are formulated upon dances, dresses, and music are not taken significantly anymore. Risk are generated in this misuse of articulations because cultural appropriation is an extreme due to its broken ethics. Yes, the extremes are clear.
You're writing a
Ethnocentrism,
speech. I love it.
huh?
Okay, okay, I can take it from here. I got you. Uh, I'm glad that you fixed that sentence because that sentence was kind of throwing off the rest of the paragraph, and it's not just an individual thing, but it was an actual blemish in the paragraph which needed to be fixed. So it's a great thing that you changed that phrasing, and it was important. Um, Risks are generated in this misuse are articulations because cultural appropriation is an extreme due to its broken ethics. Yes, the extremes are clear. Ethnocentrism and cultural appropriation are the complete opposites when it comes to social deviances. One term implies the total exclusion of international cultures, and the other is the complete integration of diverse cultures. Although this perspective of finalizing cultural appropriation as the integration of cultures is too simplistic to confirm, the reality of cultural appropriation is that its excuse of rapid understanding will cause a distortion in the practices and rituals that make up such cultures. Without previous knowledge, the act of representing a culture through shamanism will result in criticism and inappropriateness.
I'm gonna go ahead and post that.
Sure. That that sounds good, man.
All right. Do I just comment below?
Yeah. And let me see. Look at you writing 1,000 words.
That is not that hard.
Oh, could you make sure that like I mean, it doesn't really matter. This is just a choice on your end.
She's basically making us discuss. That's literally what she's telling us to do.
I think, yeah, like, um, would you? Hmm, yeah. And then now that you've done that, just read what Isabella and I wrote and write a comment.
Let's do activity 16 together and just help me out with 14 and I'm chill. We're good. And tomorrow, if you have time, let me know what time you're available so you can help me with one, two, three.
Tomorrow, I don't think I will have time. I'm going to spend. I'll be spending Father's Day with my fam.
Oh, Father's tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, call your
Huh.
pops.
So All right, pull up 16 so we can do it.
I'm working on 16.
You're working on 16. Help me make 16. Also, I'm gonna send you $30 next Friday because I'm poor right now. So.
Bet. Well, here's what I'll do. Here, I'm posting 16 into that folder. Although I'm not done with it, but it's okay. So you should have access to see what I'm writing in 16 now.
Well, what pages are you using?
It's funny. 16 doesn't use pages in the books. It uses the video, um, the interview, and then it uses the. It's kind of funny. She does like in the syllabus. She posts two links to read, but the two links are only found in the syllabus. They're not found in the actual content. So for 16, we were supposed to read two articles and watch the interview, and then write 16 in addition. In for that, in line with it. Let's see. To look at the healthcare center. In addition, I specifically want to look at the healthcare sector of America as it tends to stand opposed to New Age spirituality and neo-shamanic beliefs. Those who flock to counter contemporary medical practices do so because they feel that they have been failed, abused, forgotten by the medical sector altogether. In some way. Unconfident? I am unconfident. Is that the word?
Okay, so 17 is done.
Nice.
16. Okay, is there something in the video that I can speak about? Like I said, I'll send you $30 Friday because
Lucky for you, I actually took some pretty short notes about the video.
so I'm just go ahead and you see my screen still, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So the greatest realization I have achieved in watching. What was it?
La da 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 la da 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 la da 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 do 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 do
Is first. So the greatest realization I achieved when watching the Okeko interview and by reading the articles by Bruton and Flynn is first. So what should I write? You want me to share with you?
Oh, sorry, I was not paying attention. What?
So you see, I'm sharing the screen still, right?
Yeah.
So the greatest realization I achieved in watching the Okeko interview and by reading the articles of Bruton and Flynn is first.
What activity is this?
Huh?
Greatest realization I achieved. Way to use your buzzwords, man. Um, by reading the articles by Brunton and Flynn is first. Um, go to my folder that I sent, and you'll okay. If you go to the my folder and look at my activity 16 core shamanism page, then I have a list of notes that I took on the video. You can use these notes to essentially create lines of thought that will pass off as you watch the video. The Google Drive that I sent to you, that I sent to everybody in the group me, if you go to that and you go,
Also, those are all the notes. Everything is one.
yes, go to group me, go to the folder, click on the folder that I shared. You'll see activity 16 core shamanism. The page is there for you.
So I can say by watching the interview, is that shamans can be
Um, I,
spirit.
everything is one. Resolve conflict without violence. Um, I call to something more. Um, let me see.
So what I achieved in watching the Monkov interview is that um, how Western society lacks this ability
To see into another
to
dimension.
gain a spatial perspective in alternative worlds. As we have seen in fictional.
She doesn't talk about the alternative world to be spatial. It's not a spatial thing.
So what I say?
It's use the word spiritual. A spiritual perspective in other realities. Because it's not going to be worlds either. It's going to be realities.
Uh, uh, other
Realities.
worlds. Oh,
Realities.
or
No, there's no or. We're talking about shamanism. It's not worlds, it's realities.
that's ability to gain spiritual perspectives in other realities.
Yep.
Okay. As seen in fictional novels, television series, and historical notions, there is something out there. The reality confronted by most Westerners are physical hardships in which causes
Um,
Okay, and
give me a second. Someone's calling me. Hey, Betsy.
Hey, I hate to bother you. I got an email about Master Key Centerpoint Master Key number 5 being out longer than 2 hours, and it was like at 7:30. I was just following up to make sure you had returned that.
Yeah, it's in there.
Okay. I think I need to ask and see about if they send get returned, because they don't tell us that. So I was just
Right.
everything at work.
Yeah, today I worked from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
and I was sitting at base originally, but by the end of the day, I probably walked to Center Point from East Commons about 15 times. So towards the end of the day, the last about 2 hours, I just ended up staying at Center Point, waiting for people to call me, letting me know that they were locked out. Which I got about 4 or 5 calls, even the last 2 hours. So I just ended up holding on to the key until I left the shift. So then I wouldn't have to keep on opening and closing this. It was ridiculous. Today was completely ridiculous.
So
The key's in there now. Everything's settled.
well, that's the point. That if you're the CA, right? Is that what you were?
I was base.
You were just base.
I was just base.
Okay. Well, if it comes up again and you're just base, you might as well go to Center Point if they're in a during the daytime. If there is a not a I mean, nobody there during the daytime. And it depends on what the
Yeah.
tapping is like.
Yeah, I all I did was I forwarded the base phone to my cell phone, and
Right.
I just went to Center Point, and I just used my personal phone as the base, and every single call that I got was a person in Center Point telling me that they were locked out of their room. So it all worked out.
That was smart on your part to go on over there. So good
Yeah,
job.
exactly. Thank you. And
Okay.
so then, since I was over there and I had the phone forwarded to my personal phone, I was sitting at Center Point. I kept the key on me, so then I had everything I needed for the eventual call.
Okay. All right. I was just looking and I was like, okay. I wish they would send me one that tells me it's been put back. So that would be nice.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your customer service today. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Betsy. You have a great
You're welcome.
night.
You too. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. That was somebody from work. A common theme that I found from both or from the interview, the video interview, and one of the articles was the concept about the perspective of death.
Okay, how about this? I already finished it. The realization I achieved by watching the Marco attributes how Western society lacks this ability to gain spiritual perspectives in other realities. As we have seen in fictional novels, television series, and historical notions, there is something out there. The reality confronted by most Westerners are physical hardships and verbal confrontations, which causes more fixation on current realities rather than spiritual ones. Western society does not fully recognize the alternative or other worlds that exist. Additionally, by reading the articles by Bruton and Philip, the facts that most shamans internationally use spirits as nurses is fascinating. Well, what I mean by this is that the exposure to the spirit world makes them healers. Let me put that in quote. I'm doing quote unquote, so it's like more of a like exaggeration, and then the holistic approach. Shaman attracts attract shamans attract the spirit through their rituals and practices to introduce restoration or healing. Does that sound cool?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's brilliant about it is that it's vague enough to pass off as you know, you actually read it.
Okay. I can do this. I'm almost done. All right.
Yeah, man.
2 more activities. I can do this. So
There really was some really cool stuff in like the video um that I saw. Like one of the things that she talks about is the drumming that they do in the shamanic rituals is the normal amount of beats per minute is about 3 to 7 drum beats per second, and so it's like that kind of thing. Yeah, like that kind of range. Actually,
here's the thing. Let me tell you something. When I read about the ayahuasca and yasque, I was
mhm.
like, okay, first of
Yeah,
all,
okay.
estás hablando del huasca. When I'm Peruvian, so you're talking when you say huasca to me, oh, él está borracho. He's drunk. He está huasca. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, usually with my family, I'd be like, coño, que está ahí al tomo, ojalá que no se ponga en problema ahorita porque está huasca andando ahí borracho al piso, que tú estás tirado para arriba, para abajo, ¿qué hace? Que debería meterse en la casa.
Okay.
Like we will be,
Right. You
telling
just
them,
talk smack about someone who's real drunk. Right.
like, and I hear about like the Incas, and I'm like, yeah, I've done ayahuasca. What basically, like, I went to Loreto. They chewed yuca, spit it out, made it into a liquor, fermented. I drank that shit. That shit got me fucked up.
Really?
Yes.
That's
When
kind
I
of
saw, I'm
cool.
just like, this girl does not know that I've really actually experienced shamanism. That's the thing. So this is Amazonian though. My grandma's like, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
When I was young, like, I was in the military field with your grandfather. And like, I was in the jungle most of the time while he's training. And like, like she said, when she woke up, like there would be like a giant butterfly in her door. And then
Oh
like
my gosh.
she would hear like the monkeys howling and all that shit. Alrighty. So let's go to activity 13. That shit looks hard. It's annoying as fuck.